Howdly doodly.
G'day ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Talkin' 4x4. In this particular episode, we're going to cap off the Ashburton trip. We're going to talk about 3-week trips in general to give you guys a bit of an idea on the planning process, all the things that you need to know to do a trip like that, especially if you've never done a 3-week trip before. So today, I'm joined by these two fine gentlemen.
Howdy.
How you going?
Dylan and Torps. How we going?
Good.
Good.
That's good, that's good. You enjoyed the series so far, mate?
It's been absolutely awesome.
You know what we're doing? We're talking about all general advice, but we can refer back to the Ashburton. We can also refer to past trips as well, because they're all a bit different.
Yes, depending on locations.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So, what should we start with, guys? Because we have fuel, water, we got vehicle, we got food, we got planning, we got
That's a good
load
list.
GVM, location, cost, breakdown, emergencies, and then we're back to fuel and water again.
Fuel and water.
Just pick any.
Probably start with planning.
Planning?
Planning. Well, everything
I was hoping you
starts
guys
with
would
the
pick that because that's what I was going for. Because
Well, without a plan, you ain't going to get there.
No.
you can wing it to a degree,
Yep.
but for 3 weeks, you're not going to
Nah.
take 3 weeks off and then wing it. So planning, guys, planning is a major thing.
Oh, it is.
And planning basically covers all these topics.
Just a general plan. Even if you don't stick to it, you need just that rough guideline really to follow.
Where you
Yeah.
want to go,
Yep.
what do you want to see, what else?
Well, it gives you a rough idea on how much fuel you'll need. The water.
Exactly, and we'll get to those things when we get to all the water and fuel and all that individually. So we'll skip back to planning at the very end because the first part of your planning, I guess you guys would agree, is where are you going, who are you going with as well,
Yep.
Yeah.
and is their vehicle capable to go where you want to go, and is your vehicle capable?
Definitely.
So they're probably the most important things.
Yep.
And then once you got that, you got your foundation for the whole trip. And then we go
Yep.
to the next step. And I think that's got to be locations. So I'm
Yep.
going to choose locations.
Mm-hmm.
So with locations, we got stays, camps, fires, and time of year. I'll let you take the stays first.
Oh, the stays. Well, you got to look at if you can get free camping, paid camping. A lot of the paid camping sites, you got to know what time they're opening and closing, because you can't rock up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You sure?
Yeah, in darkness we
You
find
sure?
camp.
No, we do. Yep.
But
You're
we've been
referring
stuck
to a
in
few
it.
times. I don't know
Yeah.
which trip you're referring to, but there's a few.
Oh, yeah. When you're calling the caravan park at 2 o'clock in the morning to try and get in. And
I didn't know it was 2 o'clock. It was 11 o'clock. It was daylight savings, all right?
yeah.
Maybe
But-
if they knew who was coming.
Nah, mate. Nah. After 3 phone calls and excuses, because I use a phantom excuse first, that we ran out of fuel.
Right.
And then I said we changed the tyre, and then we actually ran out of fuel.
Yes, you did, didn't
I
you?
had to get the jerry out and refill it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the Amberdell highway trip. We crossed the border 2 days before. We've been remote for so long, daylight savings have gone lost.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hysterical, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty. After I realised, because I was really whinging about that guy, and then someone said, "You realise there's actually 2:30 a.m."
You felt about this big.
Yeah. All right, Dylan. So we kind of covered stays, camps, time of year, and fires. I guess that's another one.
Yeah, depending on where you're going. If you're heading up north, you can sort of have a fire all year round. Whereas down south, you've obviously got fire bans.
Mm.
And then, once again, time of year, weather. If it's hot, end of the year up north, you probably don't want to be camping, which is obviously when we went, which did make the trip very interesting, but it's not recommended really.
Nah. Not when it's 40 plus degrees.
No, it's really hot during the days and you are hanging for the next waterhole.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
If it's an adventurous trip you're after, sure.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was that other time it was even hotter. It was in up near Kununurra.
Oh,
That was late November. No, that was December.
it was December.
And it was... We basically lit fires so that we could evaporate the humidity.
Yep.
It sounds
It's
counterintuitive,
crazy.
but it actually worked.
And
You got hotter, but it felt better.
I still remember that trip because you all gave me so much hassle about bringing a 12-volt aircon. And by day 2, you all would have given me a car to get that aircon.
I would have been next year, that's for sure. I would have said, yeah, I'll have some of that.
Yeah.
You would have done like a human centipede with swags. Just the upwind and someone farts at the bottom, mate.
Yeah,
I've got a bit off track here.
The other advantage as well to like going when we went in places like that, it's out of season.
No
you
tourists.
will get the place to yourself.
Yes.
So if you can just push through that little bit of pain, like the heat, the flies, whatever, you will get it to yourself 9 times out of 10, and we did. So
that was kind of half the reason why we wanted to do it. But actually, the main reason was the wet season. All that water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
All that water we saw in the Ashburn, you can get the residual water.
Yeah.
Or if there's a few, if you get like a lucky storm, right? And that's how you look at it.
yeah.
You can be lucky to cross a river that's crossable. You can be unlucky to drown your car in a river that wasn't crossable.
Yeah.
Or you can go somewhere where it's just bone dry.
Yeah.
So you got to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I honestly, if you like you said, you're looking for adventure, you'd take that over being with the masses.
Oh,
So you go
100%.
like your school holiday camping, your peak times to your where everyone wants to go at the best time of year. Everyone's going to be there.
That's
Yep.
true.
So you may as well just go camping at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
'cause
even
no one's
leave,
here.
you know?
Everybody's left.
Yeah.
It's like going to like a crowded place. You're leaving your house where most people have 3 metres between your neighbours to
have less
three
room.
foot to
Yep.
thin canvas walls.
And you hear everything then.
yes.
Yeah. You may as well just
everything.
invite your street round into your backyard
Yeah.
and say, hang out here for a week. That's basically what it is.
Does that happen in Newman?
No. No, they have parties every night in Newman.
You don't have to.
No, everyone
right.
comes around anyway.
Now we'll jump to my rig before we continue the main topic. And my rig, in case you're not familiar with it, you can enter your own video up to about 2 minutes long, and we can comment and review your rig right here, right now. But today we've got Ashley from the United States of America with a Hummer.
Oh, sweet.
That's cool.
H1 too.
Real one.
H1, a real one. Yeah.
Not a H12, a H1.
Ah,
Nice.
yes.
This is Dave Ashley, and I wanted to share my rig in 2 minutes or less. This is my U.S. Marine Corps M1123 that I bought at auction, and it was a mess. It had transmission problems and a bunch of little gremlins. But this is what I've been able to turn it into in a couple months. So put a snorkel on it. It can go to almost 5.5 feet underwater and it still work. Put on a bull bar and winch plate. Still waiting on the winch. LED front lights. We've got 16 inches of ground clearance on Goodyear 37-inch Wrangler MTs. Independent suspension all the way around with disc brakes. Coming around, military flat black. Didn't come with a windshield. Had to put a windshield in, doors, and then have the door off for you. Lots of room on the inside. I can literally put my head there and then go down there. As you can see, I'm working on wiring of the light bars. Still haven't figured that out. Fun part about these is that there's no key for the Humvees. That you literally put your diesel on, wait for the little light to go off, and there you go. No air conditioning, so it's definitely for the manly men. Ibis Tech 24-inch light bars. I got them both sides for working lights, and they have infrared night vision lights, so I could help you find a campsite at night. I also have a light bar here at the back, still wiring that in, and then finally we have a AccuTemp HemaCool refrigerator that can also turn into freezer mode. So I've got this on a external battery pack as an experiment, and this is my rig in 2 minutes or less. Thanks.
How was the grass?
The grass.
I want grass that green at my house.
That
That
was the
was
first thing
awesome.
you guys looked at was the
Yeah,
grass.
like the whole street. Oh, you wouldn't get that in many streets here.
Oh, you were this year. It's bloody
Oh
raining.
yeah,
heaps.
it's all weeds.
Yeah. Well, there was two things that I really liked about it.
Yeah.
It's towards the end there. It's got night vision lights, so you can help us find camp.
Yep.
And that fridge,
Yeah.
phantom fridge.
I thought it was a space case to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AccuTemp Hemocool refrigerator that can also turn into freezer mode.
If you're watching this, can you just comment below and tell us, do you get the fridge like that in a box, or did you make a fridge inside the box? I'm really curious to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What was your favourite bit, apart from the grass?
Favourite bit? It would have been the clearance.
Yeah.
What was
On
it?
the front.
16-inch clearance.
Yeah, it looked like trophy truck clearance.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
That's cool IFS.
Imagine a
attention.
set of traps on that.
Yeah, imagine a set of trips on the cruiser downstairs.
I don't think you can
It'll
do
look
it,
funny, but it'll look cool.
Oh, we won't do it then.
No,
Not yet, anyway.
nah, we'll do it to mine instead. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I also, to do with the clearance, the 37s, bead locks, and they've actually got portals as well.
I like the engine noise too.
I like how it starts it.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like that, but probably wouldn't work so well certain parts of Australia with not having keys.
Yes.
A lot of people might
Yeah,
like
might
your car
just
more
take it for
than
a
you.
joyride.
Oh,
Cheers, Ashley.
that is a mint car.
Sweet ride, man. Anyone else watching, you want to submit a 2-minute video, just send it to the email address that's on your screen right now. Also in the comments below. So let's keep moving on to the next part of our topic. Food.
Food.
Yes, food.
Food for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to vary, isn't it?
It
Yep.
does, yeah.
Especially with who's
Yeah.
cooking.
Yeah, if Ronnie's
Myself or
cooking.
Torb's cooking, you probably get a bit out of it. Yourself, we might go through a bit more.
Yeah, just don't eat my rice. It might be
Nah,
backed
well,
up a few days.
We can't.
Hey, boys.
Or your pork roast,
Yeah.
the one that he forgets and it burns. And
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
3 in the morning is the only time you can eat pork roast.
Did you break your tooth on one of my roast ones?
Yes, I did. Yeah, that was tasted good. So, bugger.
Eat my pork roast.
That was South
You be
Australia, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually.
Snapped my
Flinders
front tooth in
Range.
half.
So apart from worrying about snapping your teeth, there are a few things you need to factor in here. One, are there towns you're going to pass? If there are, you may not need to freeze anything, but you'll definitely need to cryovac something,
Oh, definitely.
especially chicken.
Yep.
Chicken and pork, got to
Yep.
cryovac it.
Honestly, even if you don't need it for a long period of time, cryovac it anyway, because it takes up less room.
That's true.
Mm.
Yeah,
Saving space.
that's very true.
Yep.
Hey, what about our old mates Nathan and Yuha?
Oh, doing their tile
Yeah.
meals.
Literally got tiles. This is the fridge.
That's the fridge. This
This
is
is the
our
freezer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and if you have a look in here, we've got pre-cooked pasta meals, lamb obsession, what's that? Thai green curry.
Oh wow.
Is that sausages in there
Not in this. No.
when you turn it over?
The other one did.
No.
Oh,
okay.
It just looks like
It's just because it's where it's frozen.
Yeah.
You know what comes first to mind? Tiles.
Tiles.
Custom tiles. And they stack them in their fridge like a filing cabinet.
Yeah, that's right.
That
Yeah,
makes
what
a
are we
lot of
watching?
sense, though.
What are we eating tonight? Yeah,
That's freaking amazing.
It was.
That's
bloody
a really good idea.
They
Yeah.
had it sus, man.
Because we can't all carry around, massive 80-litre fridges, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
and chop it. Yeah, I
Saving
know. I
space.
can only fit a 32s. Yeah, I know. I get you. But you can chop it all up,
Yeah.
But
Yep.
that's easy. 3 weeks.
Oh,
You go
yeah.
months on that stuff.
If
Yeah.
if you're really prepared like that and you got ahead of it, you can last
That's
a long time with
Super prepared,
Yeah.
and it's also going to come into cost as well, which we'll get to later.
that. It will
So
be a lot.
let's remember that.
Yeah, a lot cheaper.
Yes, but cryovacing, if you go to your butcher, it generally costs an extra $1 to cryovac. That's what I experienced. What about you guys?
Yeah, it's usually. Or it depends on
roll
how
that.
much you buy as well. Sometimes they do it for
Yeah,
free.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Worth it
Yep.
though,
oh,
because
definitely.
if you're not buying meat every couple of days, it's going to be
Yeah.
handy.
Generally, you'll find on a on a bloke's trip, for years
won't
and
be.
years, we just went meat, bit of bread, bit more meat. The thing is, by the end of the longer the trips we did, the more exhausted and tired we felt.
Yep.
And then when we got to a pub, we were just smashing the vegetables, and we felt so much better.
That's right.
So
You got to have your veg.
you got to have
You
your
do.
veg.
Yeah.
Otherwise the shovel will get a workout.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
for
That's all
sure.
you can say about that.
Or you may not go for a few days.
Yeah, it will.
Let's all look at the cameraman. I think that's food cover, eh?
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, while we're on food, let's go to water and fuel.
Yes, the two most important.
Yeah, because you can go without eating food for 30 days
Yeah.
until you get scurvies.
What's water like 3 or 4
Yeah, about that.
days?
Yeah.
Really, it's only one, because if you don't have water for one day and you're in the desert, it can ruin
Yeah.
a whole week.
Yeah.
It can
Maybe
ruin
that's
a whole
my
week.
problem.
Not enough water?
Is that why you're always grumpy?
I bring a litre of water and 50 litres of beer.
Ah. Yeah, your
But-
ratio
There's
out
water
of
and
it.
beer.
Yeah,
water
there
in here.
is. It's 95% water. Liquid.
95%.
Yeah, something like that. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, if it works.
It doesn't quite work, people. Just in case. Just don't take any health advice from Torben here.
I think back to what we were saying though, is you're better to have a bit more than what you think you'll need as well, especially with water.
Oh, yeah,
You
definitely.
can always have too much water
Yep.
carrying.
A good tip as well is don't carry all your water in one container.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that one up.
You lose
Put a
one
hole in a
container.
jerry can,
That's it.
you know, hit a tree,
Yeah.
a branch or something, that's it. Gone.
Yep. Also, if you're in a rough track and you have a gravity feed like I have on my Hilux, this actually happened yesterday. We're out in the bush. I washed my hands. I put it in. I didn't put it right where I put it normally, and one of the boxes shifted over and just opened it. And then when I pulled over to do something else, I came back to the car and there was a bit of water dripping out. I was like, what the hell? It was dripping. So had I not stopped, I would have lost all my water. Big deal. 1 day trip. But what if you're out in the desert?
Yep.
So, yeah, that was, you know, that's something I would never have mentioned unless I experienced it.
Yeah.
So don't put all your water in one spot.
Same is for fuel as well. It is good to have separate tanks or separate jerry cans.
Yeah.
Because if you've got 200 litres in one tank and
you
that gets
bust
a
it.
hole in it or damaged,
That's right.
that's
Yeah.
a lot of fuel.
It is very unlikely, but
Yeah, but
yes,
it can
it
happen.
can happen, and it has happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Carry bar of soap. Seal that tank up.
Yep. Depending
Doesn't
on how
work
big
too
the
well in the
hole
water
is.
tank though.
No, doesn't.
How much do you carry?
Oh, how much do I carry? Normally carry around 100 litres for
And
a
how-
3-week trip.
For 3 weeks, 100 litres.
Yeah.
Dylan?
I would go with about what Torbs has there. I'm working on it for mine.
Yeah. I'll go close to 100 litres for about 21 days.
Yeah.
Close to 100 litres. And I'd have 70 in the tank, and I'd have a couple of jerrys, a couple of small 10-litre jerrys, which
Yeah.
I can refill as well.
Yeah.
But what I would normally do is I'll finish a 10-litre jerry, then I would fill it with whatever water, that's my shower water, because now it's grey water, right?
Yep.
And then you just have to sterilise those tanks when you get home. Camper trailer, 150 litres.
Yeah, heaps of water.
But if your camper trailer has a strong pump on it, you're going through a lot more water than what you think,
Yep.
as we noticed.
Yes, that's
Because
for sure.
that's got a killer pump on that X1N
It
Patriot
does,
camper
yeah.
trailer.
It's like a fire hose.
But the pumper, yeah, it is.
Washing cars.
Yeah, you could wash a car with it. But the other pump that I got in my Hilux, that's 4 litres per minute. That takes a long time to drain.
Yep.
Which
That's
is
right.
kind of good when you don't, when you're away from sources of water.
Yeah,
You definitely don't want to use it all up.
that's
Yeah.
right. And when you're travelling, you're not in a hurry. So if it
No.
takes a little
Yep.
while to fill your 1 litre bottle up,
Yep.
who cares?
Yeah. Well, something I did different on the new tray was the shower outlet is on the pump, same size as yours, 4 litres a minute.
Yep.
But the actual tap on the rear for, filling up bottles or washing your hands is only gravity feed.
Okay.
So when you do open it, it's not forcing out a lot of water.
Yeah, a smart thing as
So,
well. And if you get a
yeah.
pump failing, you don't have to worry about it.
Yep, that's right.
Because
So-
that's one thing with my tank in the cruiser.
Yep.
When a pump fails, I've got no way of getting it out. And the pump's actually dead at the moment.
Oh, bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that trip we actually went on the Ashburn, camera car had 70 litres of water, came home with 70 litres of water.
But no beer.
Yeah, but no beer. Load capacity,
Load capacity.
like how much you bring.
Yes, well, you can bring too much. You might think, oh, if I bring everything, it'll be better. It's definitely not. Before you know it, you've gone over GVM.
Yep.
And some of the cars you see, towing vans, whatever, definitely over GVM, and just if anything happens, you've got no leg to stand on. If you go over GVM as well.
If they pull on those strings, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, only think about what you actually need to go camping. You know, you don't need to take everything, including the kitchen sink.
You don't need the induction cooker?
You don't need induction cookers. You don't need $5,000 lithium setups. You don't need any of that. You don't need electric blankets. You don't need rooftop tents. You don't need none of that.
Did he just mention everything that he has?
I think so.
No. No. But you know, it's all within reason. If you think you need it, bring it. But make sure you can actually carry it, and your car can carry it as well.
Yeah.
Because some of the setups you see out there are just ridiculous.
Yeah. I would call it a balance of compromise.
Yep.
So there's some things, you're always going to bring something you don't really need.
Yep.
But it's comfort.
Yeah.
So bring what you want there, but then it's got to offset somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It has to offset somewhere else.
That's right.
Otherwise, you know, if you like cooking on fire, if fire cooking is your thing, you don't carry anything else, then yeah, sure, get a camp oven, get 2 different pans, and get a bloody mesh thing you put over your fire.
Yep.
Get everything. But if you are using gas and you want to cook on fire every now and then, bring one fire cooking thing.
Yep. Definitely.
Because you're just adding more weight. You're never going to use it. Yeah. More weight adds more fuel, more wear to the vehicle. Your GVM, it's very hard to pack for a 3-week trip and not be over GVM.
Oh, yeah.
It is, I'd honestly say, almost impossible unless you are
most
really
new cars,
really picky.
You're going with a group, don't bring something that everyone else is bringing. If everyone brings a high lift jack, you don't need 6 high lift jacks.
Yeah.
You could even bring it right down to spare tyres. If you're running the same tyres as someone else, you don't all need 2 spares. That sort of thing.
I'm glad you brought it up because
a lot of weight to be saved there.
Yeah. There's a lot to think about, but that's probably, I'd say that's probably the best one. Share everything. One person do fire cooking. One person bring barbecue. One person bring back gas cooker or induction cooking in your case.
Save weight.
You don't all need an electrical blanket. Just all share Dylan's.
Plenty of room in the tent, mate. You just got to ask.
Cost. Be real brief on this one. This one's very, very difficult to cover.
It's kind of 2 levels as well, really.
Yeah. There's a very budget.
There's the budget level where you can just get by on sausages and bread.
Yeah. And noodles.
Then there's noodles. Then there's the sort of top level where you're eating very well every day and you've got everything you want with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably more than you need.
Yeah, there's always more than what you need.
Yep.
Good way to save costs is you invite Harry. Then you're eating really well.
Yep.
And you didn't have to pay for it.
No. Just let him bring the food.
True.
Oh, are we recording?
That's if the Prada can carry it all.
Yes.
Might run out of room in there.
Yeah, but I can always lease a bit of my 32-litre space in my pissy little fridge.
Fit a baby tomahawk.
Yeah, that's about it. Be worth it.
It's hard to put a number on. It really is. Because it varies as well. Fuel prices change.
Yeah,
where you get your food from.
What kind of car you got, how much fuel you burn.
Yeah.
It's all in the planning. You really got to work it out. And when you're planning your fuel and costs, let's bring the fuel back in here. You're going off-road. You work out where your highway is and work out what your worst case scenario fuel is on the beach, especially if you're doing a lot of sand work. Work off that because you'd rather have too much fuel.
Too much money for fuel.
Too much money for fuel and too much fuel. So also think about how much the distance you're going to use rather than running out or not having enough money for fuel.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stuck at a roadhouse doing dishes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. One thing that's worked for me is I'll look at the distance one way and instead of working out how much is blacktop, how much is off-road, I work out the distance and then I work out what my fuel consumption is and double it. And it seems to work. That's on the mark.
If you know you're going to be off road,
I
think that's probably a good way to do it.
That is a good way to do it. Yeah.
And it's worked every time.
You just never know. Like you could be in a boggy situation where you're winching and
you might be there for days sometimes. You know, it can happen.
The road might be so screwed up that you're going slow speed, which means you're covering half the distance in half the time.
And using the same fuel.
Yeah.
Yep. And cost-wise of fuel, I find the easiest to do is work out that fuel will average $2 a litre.
Yeah, it will cost more when you're out. Depending on But that comes into the research and planning. My next comment here will be situations, it's raining now, situations where it's $3.30 out in the middle of the desert. So if you've got a desert crossing or anything, work out, ring that roadhouse, get a fuel price, work off that price.
Yeah.
They don't change much.
No, they're,
But also-
they're always high.
Yeah, but the only thing that does change, do you have fuel? Do you have
Yeah.
petrol? Do you have diesel?
Yeah, a lot of those places don't have petrol.
That's right.
Yeah. And a lot of them only get deliveries every so often. So if they've had a big run of people, yeah, they might
be
not
dry.
have any. Yeah.
Vehicles. Not just what type of vehicle, but we are going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about servicing your vehicle, when to do it, what type of service you should be doing, and the extra stuff that you should be looking at on your vehicle before you go.
Oh, definitely.
Torbs?
That what I always do is minimum 1 week before a trip is I'll get a service done and get a full check over of the vehicle, because if you do it too soon you're going to run out of time to get it fixed, or if something goes wrong, say they've done some bearings or something and they've worn in and then collapse or something goes wrong, you still got a bit of time.
That's a good point with allowing your car to drive after the service, because I have had it once before.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name the place. This is a suspension place. They decided to pull my hub apart. I can't remember why. I didn't want them to, but they pulled it apart and they put them back on. They told me, oh, we just serviced it. We just noticed a bit of this, but it had actually, in fact, been serviced. It was fine, but they pulled it apart, put it back together wrong, and I happened to be out just filming something, but I needed full drive because I got bogged.
Yep.
I couldn't lock one side into full drive, and it was just before a massive trip. It was just for the Amber Dell trip, actually.
Ah, yes.
Just
I
before
recall
that trip.
that.
So,
Thunder.
yeah, it sounded like it was coming just
Almost
over there.
it must
Yeah.
be close. It's very
Anyway,
close.
had I not checked that, that would have been interesting.
Or any major modifications as well. Like, let's say you go get a long range fuel tank put in 2 days before you leave for a trip.
That doesn't sound like us at all, Torbs.
No, we did it on the night of leaving for the trip.
That's been one of my biggest tips, is never to do anything major before a trip. And every single time I either do something, or you
I
do
do.
something, or we both do something, or
Yep.
I hear about Dylan doing something before he heads off somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you said though, probably about a week. A
Yeah.
week's a kind of a good time frame. You're going to drive it around for a few more days.
Yeah.
You're going to see what's been done or what you've done. Make sure it all works.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want to do is get halfway out in the middle of nowhere and find out you've forgotten something or someone else has forgotten something.
Yeah,
Yes.
those 3 bolts, you didn't realise
Yep.
where they went. They're still
Didn't-
laying at home on the
Didn't
bench.
need those. Weight reduction.
Yeah, it's a good point though. Like everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people are going to be bolting something on their car before a big trip, because they've been planning for it for ages.
Yep.
They've been saving up.
Last minute modifications.
Yeah, it's like-
it does happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
But do your best to do it earlier
Yes.
or test it early
Yes. That's right.
if you can.
Don't
Yeah.
be like us. Plan to leave at like lunchtime, and still 8 o'clock at night you're working on your car. Hey, Tools, remember we did that? On the side steps on the. And we rocked up at camp at like 3 a.m. and we were wrecked
Yep.
the next day.
Oh, we were, yeah. But they look good.
That's all that matters.
He's having a bit of a cringe about that moment over there. He remembers
Yes.
3 a.m. Woke up at 5. Well, he did. He got a phone call.
Yes, that's right. There was a potential fraud, wasn't it?
Potential fraud call. Breakdown and emergencies. I'm going to start this one by saying it doesn't matter how long you go for remote, but if you go remote, you need a satellite phone.
Yeah.
You can hire one, you can buy one, they're not that expensive.
No, they're not actually.
And if you buy one, you can freeze your plan and unfreeze it whenever you want.
Well, you can actually get prepaid cards.
You can get that too.
Yep.
The phone, we got 2 satellite phones. We bought those outright, not both at the same time. $800 each.
Yep.
Yes, that is a big cost, but
Not if you need it.
not if you need it. And we need it.
Yeah.
So we have 2, and one plan's frozen, the other plan is just active all the time, just for when we head out.
Yep.
It's always with us. But if we go on a big trip, we need 2 phones, we'll activate the other phone.
Yep.
And that's basically, yeah. And the reason why I rate a satellite phone over an EPIRB, like an emergency beacon,
Yep.
is the fact that you can tell people the situation you're in. If you are in a vehicle breakdown, you can tell them you're in a vehicle breakdown. If you activate an EPIRB,
They're just going to see emergency.
they'll send the helicopter, pull you out and say, see you later, car.
Yeah.
Which you may just have a flat tire.
Yeah, you may be out of spares.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
definitely don't need that.
Serpentine belt's gone. Whatever.
Yep.
Spare parts, work out what commonly breaks on your vehicle, if it does. For instance, CVs, left or right, maybe you can get lucky and one will do both. Belts, if you have a serpentine belt, it might run 8 or 9 things on the front of your motor. And if that breaks, you're not going anywhere. And it's something that's not that hard. Most people can replace, especially trackside as well.
Mm.
And it doesn't weigh much.
It takes up hardly any room for something that
Yeah.
will stop your car
Yeah.
in most
Yes.
cases.
You overheat pretty quick.
Yeah.
Suppose if you've got a Jeep, you just bring 5 litres of fuel and some matches.
Yeah, well,
Just kidding.
Well, actually,
if it's cold.
yeah.
Yeah, warm up.
So you're saying you should always look at your car, research what mainly goes on them.
Is a quick join a Facebook group that's specific to your car, and quite quickly just scroll through for 10 minutes. You'll work out common problems.
The
Yeah.
only problem is you have to sift through all the comments.
You do got
all
to
the
sift
questions.
through. Yeah,
How do you fit 33s in a 2?
that will be an issue. Just hammers and grinders, but you don't need them.
Yeah.
For instance, Navaras nearly all have a rear main seal go. Make sure that's been looked at before you go.
But what
Things
if,
like that. It's very common problems, and you work it out real quick.
if you have a 3-litre patrol? What do you bring then?
Another engine. I'm really sorry, Chester. I didn't mean that.
So just
Chester's
tow
our
another
cameraman.
vehicle.
He has a 3-litre patrol.
We love you, Chester.
He cops the sweets, he's alright.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So spare parts. And here's another thing we can go back to. You can share spare parts if you all got the
can.
same vehicle.
Yep.
Right, Torbs?
Yeah, you can. There's only one spare part that I would say you should all carry your own, and that's bearings.
Yes, wheel bearings.
Yep. Because
But-
they only take up a little bit of room, and usually if you're in a place where you're going to do bearings on one vehicle, you may do it on another. So if it's real rocky terrain and you're hopping up rocks and stuff like that, you could.
And you're overloaded.
Yeah, that's right.
And always bring your bearing seals. Hey,
Don't
What
you-
kind of monkey would do that? But
Don't you like reusing them? They work really well the second time round.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when they've been grinded to a paste.
Yes, that is another Rhonda moment.
Well, you know, it happens. It's happened to us. We got stuck for, was it 2-3 days?
Yep.
Satellite phone call, organised parts from Perth,
That's a good one, that is.
on a
was.
plane to Esperance, on a food truck, 900 k's up across Nullarbor, rendezvous at a food truck, 9 hours out, 9 hour return, sorry, 4.5 out, 4.5 back, put the car together. But the car that took us out, we had to fill up as well because we used all that extra fuel that we calculated. Man, that was a mission.
Did you get the whole thing back together with the new bearings before you'd worked out you didn't have the seal?
No, we looked for the parts
Right.
and didn't have them.
Yeah.
That's good. Because that would have been a priceless look on your face, that one.
I was kicking myself
I
because
can imagine.
I always carried the seals, but I didn't actually have the bearings that time. Someone else had bearings but didn't
Yep.
have the seals. And I was like, oh my God, I literally pulled that bag out to make room for something
That's
else.
right, it was laying on the garage floor.
Yes, I pictured exactly where it was laying.
Yep.
So fuses.
Fuses, yep.
Fuses.
A whole
Look,
bunch of fuses.
all the common stuff, just bring
Yep.
it. Especially those MIDI fuses, those spade MIDI fuses. The MIDI fuses,
Yeah.
that's what they're called. The ones that sit in the engine bay, because if they go, you may lose all the charging capacity to the rear. You may lose, you can always just dodgy it up, but then there's no fuse to protect you. So why did it blow in the first place? So
Yep.
got to be careful.
That's right.
All right, I think this takes us back full circle to planning.
Mm-hmm.
So let's cap it off with planning. I think our audience will now get the idea of there's a lot of stuff here.
Oh, it's huge.
If you haven't been writing a list as you've been going and you are planning your trip, just watch it again, write down your list, and then when you get to the end, you need to plan all the things that you were planning out. So first you plan all the things out that we just spoke about. Now you need to plan every individual thing to match all the other bits and pieces. Location comes into a factor with fuel, water, food, vehicle.
Yep.
Vehicle comes into factor with space, GVM. Are you towing? Are you not towing? Can you carry this? Can you carry that? Is Bob carrying this and Bill's carrying that and Jane's carrying this? This is where you need to plan.
Check that they are carrying it.
Yes, that's another good point because you might have a share list, but did they actually bring it?
Yep.
Because we've had that before.
Yes.
Didn't you bring it? No, I thought you were bringing it.
That's right. I think it was actually a cooker, wasn't it?
That wasn't between us though.
No.
It's between someone else.
Yes. That's right. He was supposed to bring the cooker.
Yes, and there was no bloody cooker.
Yes, so, yeah. Can't cook with just a gas bottle and a hose.
Lucky it was a short trip.
Yeah, it was.
If you can, you can.
Anything you want to add
Ooh,
to the planning?
to the planning? Well, actually, one that is a good one is just before you head off, meet at a central point at someone's house, like the group of you, and then just go through what you all have just to make sure you haven't forgotten anything.
But to make it more exciting, get the map out at the same time. Talk about all the exciting places you're going to go because that's half the fun of the trip is actually planning it.
Yep.
It's the anticipation of going and then it starts building when you start driving on your way to your trip.
Yep, that's
And
right.
half the fun is driving to a trip. The worst part is driving home. Yes, you get to relive all the memories, but man, I've still got to drive 2 days to get home.
Yes, that's right.
Dylan?
I haven't got too much more to add, really. I mean, we've said planning a lot in the last couple of minutes.
That's what it's all about.
It is. Just, plan your spares, your food, your fuel, your water. Even if it might take you over the course of a month, every now and then you'll go back to it, but over a month you'll make that plan. And then, like you said, you meet up before you go, even a bit before you go, to make sure everyone has got everything they say they're bringing.
Yeah.
And then it is also always good to go as a group as well. Meeting up along the way isn't always the best option. It does work, but you might lose track of each other.
Yeah,
It
that's
does
right.
happen.
Well, there's been a few occasions that, someone forgot to fill the gas bottle.
Simple things like that, You're in a group,
Not
one
pointing fingers
person will
here, eh?
remember,
No,
surely.
we wouldn't do that, would we?
The biggest thing we missed was research.
Yep.
So we're going to finish this on research. Permits. For example, the Ashburton, we needed a permit for the Rio Tinto road, access road. And it wasn't just a sign a document, it was sitting through an induction.
Yes, that's right.
That's because there's mining involved. But, yes, permits.
Parks passes,
Yes.
Yep.
such as Karajini National Park, you need a pass to go there, which you can get when you get there. But like anything, if you can do it beforehand, which it takes 5 minutes online,
Yep.
Yeah.
much better doing that. Then you've got the piece of paper or whatever on your phone. And 9 times out of 10, you won't get anyone come up to you asking for it, but you do want it on you.
And are they open?
Exactly.
What time of the year is the best year to go there?
You might get there.
That's right.
Because sometimes it's too hot, they're closed.
Yes.
So that's a good research and planning to put into your locations. Also, do you need to bring firewood? Because some places are not allowed to pick up wood from the ground even in national parks or whatever. And other places, can you get firewood? Can you buy it from the place? Because a lot of places, station stays that we experience, they have firewood you can buy.
Yeah. So you save carrying that extra weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the water hole full this time of the year?
Yep.
Those are things you need to research.
Road conditions.
Yep.
That track might have had 100 mil of rain a week ago,
Yeah, we
but
have to
it's
go a long
still
way.
shut.
Yeah, because they haven't repaired the road yet.
Yep.
Okay,
Toilets as well.
what's that?
Toilets.
Yes,
so those
national
are like
parks.
toilets.
You have
Certain
to
places, I know there's quite a few spots near Exmouth and the Ningaloo coast where you can't camp there at all
Without a chemical
without a
toilet.
chemical toilet.
Yes.
And there's a lot of places like that now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you need to check that
becoming more.
first as well. It's
Yep.
very common.
Yep.
You can't just dig a hole wherever you like these days.
No.
Yeah.
That's where
And
the Coles bags are great.
Yeah.
if you're travelling into interstate, not so much for us WA people,
Yep.
but for others coming into WA or crossing states more, because our state's so damn big, we don't cross the state much. Fruit and veg. You got to
Yes.
surrender everything. A lot of
Yeah.
people forget about it when they come to WA.
Yep.
Especially when we do the tag along right on the border. We get a lot of eastern states people come over. We then all of a sudden get a text message, phone call. This is like a day before we leave, because they want to get there early,
Yep.
getting into WA. And they're like, dear, is there any chance you could pick up some sweet potato, always sweet potatoes, and tomatoes?
Ah, yes.
Those two.
Yeah.
So always down to the shop, get some sweet potatoes and tomatoes, and
Yep.
swap before a couple of beers.
That sounds like a fair deal.
That's a pretty good deal. I think that is everything covered. Look, obviously you got to research the fuel, how much the price is.
What days they're open?
Oh, that's a good one. And what time they're open.
Yeah, there's certain towns, the fuel stations are only open 2 days a week for
Yep.
3 hours.
That's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You roll up 3:10. Sorry, we're
Tough
closed.
Buckleys.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter if
that
you're
is
getting
true.
$1,000
we
worth of
experienced
fuel.
that one.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
Yep. And
Things work slower in small towns.
they do.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, don't. Another thing, don't go into a small town expecting it to be like it is here in Perth or the city anywhere.
Yes.
Oh, there'll be fuel. 24-hour fuel. You get very used to it here.
Oh,
You go to a small town, it's not like that at all.
Or you're
Yep.
road tripping through the night,
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden
and-
you get there and you realise, I should have just camped there because
So
now I've got
it's
to wait
closed.
here anyway.
Yeah. Till 6 or 7 in the morning.
Yeah. But you know, we'll
Yeah.
fix that long range fuel tank.
It will.
And water. Research where you can get water.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because a lot of that region, especially up in the Pilbara, Ashburton, water has a lot of calcium in it.
Yeah.
Does.
And everywhere we went, they recommended don't fill your tanks up with this water.
You can drink it, but it's
Yeah.
not ideal.
Not ideal.
Depending on where it is as well.
So, rainwater, if you
Yeah.
can.
Well, I carry a filter, a silver filter, in my car now. So every time I fill that tank, it has to go through that silver filter.
Does that take out the calcium?
It takes out calcium, everything, plus the silver kills the bacteria.
Okay.
So it takes out the smell as well, funny enough. Well,
good.
that's what it says on the packet.
So can you take that filter to the Perth Mint and get money for it, or what?
We probably can. I reckon there'll be about $5 worth of silver.
I think we covered everything, eh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously there's a lot more.
There is a
You
lot
could
more.
carry on, but
We could.
I think we've
We
hit
could
the
carry on.
basics really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have.
Yeah.
Look, I think this is a topic that could be expanded. Like we could talk about navigation and what it's like being with people for that long at a certain time and all that. So, what it's like being in a swag for that long. There are so many things, so many more things we could talk about. So, if you got any requests on any of these topics you want us to dive into a bit more, by all means, put them down below in the comments. And thank you guys for coming
No worries.
over.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for
You
having
got,
us.
you got a big drive to the Pilbara now.
Yeah, 12 hours.
Yeah, and what's the time now?
Oh, it's probably about 9, 10 o'clock.
You're mad.
Good time to leave,
Yeah.
mate.
That's the normal time we leave, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Just getting
Nothing
ready to get
new.
on the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like I'm missing out. I'm just going home.
Well, you still got to pack up too, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be midnight before I get home.
Yep.
And Dylan,
I'm here for a few more days, so I'll enjoy Perth's beautiful weather before I go home and go back to sunny Newman.
Yep.
sunny Newman.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, you will.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
Thank you. Adios.
See ya.
See you later.